I trust up. I trust up. Another good weekend, man. Please subscribe, like, comment. You know what we do the best. Another good weekend. We have a special guest this weekend. Somebody that served the community. Basically, what we're gonna say in so many words. And we appreciate her coming on the platform today. And it's a big move for us because we really community based, but we don't have the community up here. It's not worth it. So I appreciate Miss Donna for coming up today. I'm gonna give her a round of applause too. Appreciate you, Miss Donna, for coming on. There. You like that? Clack like that. He like that. We moving up, baby. I appreciate. We gonna get Miss Donna on the platform real fast, just to give her a brief summary of her, of who she is, and basically what she do in the community before we start getting the questions. You go ahead, Miss Donna. I'll give you a platform.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Diana Powell. I am Executive Director of Justice Serve of North Carolina. We have been in operation. September 24th will be 9 years. And I'm also the statewide outreach director for Second Chance Alliance. Born and raised right here in Raleigh, boots on the ground, love our community, love our young people because they are our future. Was a strong activist and going through these years of learning and understand about leadership and understanding the difference between being an activist and an advocate. And so I'm just excited about being here this morning. I am a grandmother of four. I have twin sons who live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and graduates of UNC Pembroke, and just love people and love my community.
Can you kind of explain the difference between advocate? Like, what's the difference? Because people don't know that part.
Okay. Advocate is more of a person that can still have relationship, can go to the table and negotiate and have strong conversations. Activist is one that's out there just raising hell and don't mind tearing down stuff and bringing awareness. But once you out there advocating, at being an activist, it's hard to get to the table because people look at you as, oh, you're radical, you're out of control. We don't want to talk to you. We don't want to deal with you. But it's good to have those activists. It's good to have them in your circle. Everybody has a role to play. And so it's important to understand the difference between an activist and an advocate. In my experience, when I was out there, one of them ones raising hell and bringing attention to everything that was going on that was not right, they didn't like it. For example, when I started breaking that glass ceiling of going into our courtroom and advocating for our people to educate them on how to navigate around our criminal justice system, they got mad. They did not want me in there, and actually, they brought charges against me and took me to the state bar for allegations of inappropriate counsel,
Why
and
would it
which
be
that was
inappropriate? Why would it be
that
inappropriate?
they were saying that I was trying to represent myself as a lawyer,
Oh,
and that was far from the truth. All it was, I was just trying to educate our people how to navigate through this system. Well, we went before the state bar. There was about 30 attorneys in there. And after they understood, I had an opportunity to explain and show the documentation of the work we were doing. They found me not guilty. And they told me to go back and continue to do what I do.
that's good right there.
And so that began to help me to understand that there is a difference between an activist and an advocate. And after that process happened, now I can get into those rooms as an advocate versus an activist.
Oh, okay, I got you now. So basically, what Meek started off with, what Sheena started off with about last week. Can you kind of elaborate on what I was saying? What I was saying was if we should go harder on the White House. Like that was my thing. Like not to try to be funny, but if we push up on them, I'm thinking they could push up on the cities. Like, where I'm wrong or I'm right. Like I just I really want to know.
Well, you can start at the top at the White House, but you're most effective in your state. If you start with your local um, 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 politicians, just like, for example, we couldn't go to the White House to advocate for expungements in Raleigh, North Carolina, right? They will hear you, but they're not going to move on it. So we had to bring that down to a lower level and advocate on our legislators on Jones Street. About 2 years ago, we put over 2,000 people on Jones Street with second chance T-shirts, and we put those people in those hallways. And we were lobbying for our Senate Bill 562, which is around expungements and driver's license, that people could get their driver's license restored. That bill passed. I think it was 46-0. Everybody was in favor for that bill. And the reason why, because we advocated on the legislators. If we would have went straight to DC, it wouldn't have happened.
Oh wow, okay. So basically, what you're saying, like, start your groundwork in your city. Like, start in your city, make a raw. Like to me, like Mika was saying, make a raw in your city first, then a raw. I guess that's what gained the news. Oh, I understand now. Now I get it. You make the raw in your city, that bring the new, that bring the attention, that bring questions, and that bring the news. You know what I mean? What's going on? And so that's what you mean by the steps. Oh, okay, I got you.
Exactly.
Understand it. So not the let's jump straight into what's going on and right now, because we don't want to leave it out. You know what I mean? With the case that happened and the shooting. I don't even know if you know about the shooting from yesterday that was in Elizabeth. I think it was Elizabeth City. The guy that was in the car and he pulled off and he shot the car up. Like, can you talk? Do you know any information on that? Because I don't want to give out. I don't like giving out false information. I didn't do my research, but me knowing you being in the streets, I want to know if you can. You know what I mean? Know a little, not inside, but something that kind of could avoid that situation. You know?
Yeah, when the video first started going up, of course, someone sent it to me. They said, "Look at this," and I was watching it live. And with my connection down in Pasquotank County and Manio, all around in that area, I was talking to a friend of mine, and their question was, why was the sheriff department involved in this versus the police department? Because it was in the city. But then we learned it was because the sheriff department serves the warrants.
Exactly.
So that's what it was. They were serving a warrant. And I think there was a lot of confusion because people were confusing the 15 or the 16-year-old and this situation. So as we began to watch it progress out, we realized that it was a 40-year-old black male that was
So
shot.
no, it was no. Oh, so that's what we saying. Like, it was him and his son, and I'm like, what? Like, it's two people they saying it's one person. So see, that's what I'm saying. That was false information they gave out. It was saying it was two people in the car. And
Right.
so was they in the wrong or was they in the right? Like, I don't know. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, why was they shooting the car?
Right. We still don't know. According to the press conference that they gave yesterday, is that it's still under investigation, of course, and that the body cams will be released. But my thing was what bothered me. Well, what brought to my attention, what stuck out most to me was the people that were literally there watching and the comments that they were making, the frustration that they were going through. And I kept hearing, why don't they get him off the ground? Why don't they get him up? Why they keep let him lay there? Well, if he's dead, they can't move him.
Exactly.
The coroner has to come in and do all of that. And so those are the things that I try to help educate our community on. I remember we had a death here, and they were saying the same thing. Why is it taking so long? He laid there for 4 hours. Why is it taking so long for him to get up, for them to get him off the ground? Well, he's dead. And then you don't want to mess up the crime scene. And so there are so many steps to this thing. And after it happened, something like that happened here, I had the detectives from Raleigh PD to come to our community and explain that to us because we don't know.
But see, that's
And
good.
that,
You did that. That's good. You did
yeah,
that part, like right there. That was a great part right there.
yeah,
You brought up to the
because
neighborhood.
right, because we're out there and all in our emotions, it's only going to keep things stirred up. So what do we always hear? Knowledge is powerful,
Exactly.
right? We suffer from the lack of knowledge. If we don't know, we can cause more problems. We can cause more harm than good. So it's so important that we understand and get knowledge.
And that's a good thing. And I wanted to talk about that because it's like every day is something new with this cop and the civilians, meaning us, and I'm confused and I'm kind of like bothered to the point where it's certain, like when I seen the thing with the young lady, I was kind of like bothered by that. Like, you feel me? So even that situation, like it's like that's the force. Like that's a force. Every time they come out, it's like they don't know how to shoot. To It's no more of straining. It's shoot to kill, and it's scary. You feel me? And just seeing how things going on, how we could get subjected to a bad description because we are black. So why don't when white people get into a situation, when they say white people, why they don't put every white person over? Like, why is that? Why would we go through that? I mean, ain't the lady that comment, but just what's going on. Like, every time you come out, it's like shoot to kill, shoot to kill. It's not no shoot to just put them down, put the gun down. It's like every time I'm shooting 7 and 4 to 5 times. Just one of them bullets gonna kill me eventually. So, like, this is just to kind of like summarize what I said. Like, how you feel about that situation of how they approaching us? You know what I mean? Everything that's going on.
Okay. Well, I can see it from both sides.
Okay.
Being former law enforcement myself, I was a correctional lieutenant within our prison system for 10 years. So I understand the training. I understand the, shoot, don't shoot. I was a firearms instructor. I certified people in firearms. I was an unarmed self defense instructor, CPR, all of that. So I understand it from both sides. Um, you got good cops and you got bad cops. So we got to continue to do what we're doing, and that is bringing awareness that we are not going to sit silent and allow this to happen. We got to hold these bad cops accountable. They just cannot just decide, I'm going to wake up this morning, I'm going to kill me a black person.
Exactly.
Um, so we got to continue to do what we're doing, bringing awareness, change the immunity that these officers cannot keep getting away with this. I don't know if you remember the Kyron Hinton case where he was beaten and bitten by the dogs,
Yeah, I remember that.
and those officers were charged. And it was, and I can honestly say it's because the community got behind it. The videos were released, and we put pressure on our district attorney and our chief of police. And so it's an ongoing process. I can look at the George Floyd case. You can say justice has been served for that case, and we should say that proudly. We should be today, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We should still hold our heads up and say, "I'm black and I'm proud."
But I don't
Um,
think I don't think that, to my point of view of, I think that was more of a, if we don't get a conviction, it's gonna be horror. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be crazy. So I'm not saying I'm not saying we're not proud of that. It's just like that it helped that situation, that family. But there's so many other families that's like, wow, you feel I'm going with it? Like, I get that part, but it's so many cops out here that beat us on a, see, like you say, justice served. All right. I get that we have laws and regulations. So me being an ex-convict, you feel what I'm saying? Ex-drug dealer, whatever you want to call me. I've been through that phase of my life. You feel I'm going with where I was judged, you judged
Mm-hmm.
and this and that and the third. So I'm trying to just understand like I was already I'm like me being that person, I'm already in the shell, so I'm already in defense. You feel I'm going with because I know I'm wrong, you know what I mean, things like that. But I don't think that it was justice served to me. Me personally, like, because
Right.
it's like, I don't I mean, I know I'm probably going in a circle right now, but it just I'm trying to be mindful how I talk and say, because certain people take your words and eat it up and throw it back at you and things like that. So that's why I kind of like in a circle because I'm trying to watch what I say. But that's just how I feel about that. I don't feel like it's served because it was 5 more killings right after that. Like, not even trying to be funny, you know what I mean? So I mean, that's just
Right.
me,
But
my
so
point of view.
right. So that's why I said the protesting, the coming together and bring awareness must continue. Now you got to realize, you got to remember, when you said, well, they had to come back and find him guilty because they already knew what was going to happen. But you got to understand, the jury was sequestered, right? A lot of stuff that we were seeing, they were not seeing. They were not able to see even after they went into deliberation. After they got the case. So I mean, basically, it was an open shut case
Exactly.
because we there was no lie. The man was on his neck,
Yeah, exactly.
right? So at certain level, justice was served. That's my opinion.
I'm not taking. I'm happy that it happened, but I'm back to what I was saying because I kind of lost what I was saying when I was saying it's like the jury. So me being the person I am, and I know I'm wrong. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm going off that. Once I get charged, I'm going off that jury. I ain't no defense, no disrespect, nobody. I'm going off the same jury he was going off. I just need one of them. I just need one. I get one, I'm walking out of here. So when I was going through that part, I'm like, wow, he in the same boat I was in one time, and I didn't get that one vote. You feel? I went to prison. So when he when he went to prison, I'm like, oh, all right, he went through the same thing I went through. So I was that part. Yeah, I'm like, oh, all right, they do work with us. Like it is kind of like I understand they got their thing they do, but him being a police officer, and then I don't even think he's gonna do all the time because now everybody talking about this appeal, this appeal, this appeal, this appeal. And in Minnesota, what they were saying is you don't even do that much time. So all them years look good, but they're gonna run it concurrent. You probably gonna do about 6 to 8 years. You know what I mean? Max, if they do that. You know what I mean? So that's what
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, well, in understanding that when the judge was saying, we got to come back for this date, we got to come back for that court date, we got to come back because what's going to happen, what could happen, is that they can get rid of the two lower cases and bump up the sentence for the first charge. Did that make sense?
yes.
Okay, so that's where the prosecutors can come back in and say, well, yeah, okay, so this sentence carries this much, this charge carries this much sentence, but we're going to bump it up. We're going to ask the judge to bump this thing up. So, I mean, we don't know. We don't know,
Right.
but at least we know he was found guilty. He's
Yeah,
sitting in a jail cell right now. And right now he's under protective custody.
that's what you say. I respect it. I just when you like you said when you don't have information and you kind of like dumbfounded. Let's just keep it real. When you dumbfounded things, you want to assume and make your own opinions and your own suggestions of what's going on instead of just getting the right information. And that affect us. And everybody have an opinion. I get it, but sometimes your opinion on me, you right. That's just your opinion. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's just what the case is. Not to just stay on what's going on in the topic world. It's basically this interview was about you, but I know you being the person you are, I know you knew information that I just wanted to get out of first. Cause people were like, why you didn't talk about this? Why you didn't talk about that? I had to talk about what's going on right now. You know what I mean? So September 30th, 2016, you had the class well, not a class, but you had a forum where you was a gym or I think it was a church, right? If I'm not mistaken. Where you had it at, and you formed everybody up, and you was helping people with different um parts of they well with the license, and it was misdemeanor charges. because I was one of the people in line. You know what I mean? You didn't see me. I'm glad I was looking for a picture. Like, hope she ain't got me in one of the pictures. But I tried, you know. I tried, but when I went down there and I had the conversation, y'all sent me to Durham. Y'all sent me to the guy in Durham, and he did without, but I never really fell all the way through with it. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about, you know what I mean, that part of
Okay.
the work.
All right. When let's go back to how it all started. We had I again working with our judicial system with our district attorney, and we were always trying to figure out ways to make things easier for our community to navigate through life. Right, with our reentry, people coming back from prison, jail, and so we had the police shooting on Bragg Street. And after that, the community went up in an uproar. We were out there on Bragg Street, and we felt that tension that, okay, they're going to go and tear this city up. So I was able to kind of get out there and say, hey, we don't have to tear our city up. We can get this thing right. I understand your frustration, but let's get it right. Right. And so after that day, the district attorney and a judge reached out to me and they said, look, we want to have breakfast with you. We want to sit down and talk about what's happening. So we did, we met. And then when they proposed to me, maybe we can do an expungement. And I was like, what is that? And at that time I didn't know what it was, but it sounded good. Whatever it was, it sounded good. And it sounded like something positive for our community. And so when they explained it to me that there may be some laws that they can go in and look at people's criminal records, and that they can get those charges removed off their records. Why? Because their records, the things that was on their records was a barrier from keeping people from getting jobs, getting houses, getting their license, moving about life, everyday life. And so I was like, okay, let's do it. And so they asked me, well, where we need you is to get the community, seeking you bring awareness to the community that we're doing this. I said, okay. So they gave me 3 weeks. And so I was like, how many people you want? They was like, just how many you can get. So when we started putting that word out, and when we were down at that church, it was, and after a 3-week period, we pre-registered over 3,265 people.
Wow.
That was a lot of people. But I knew that everybody was not going to get their record expunged.
Okay.
My motive was, let's show them that we got an issue. Let's show them that these are the people that need help that cannot get help. And so a lot of people did get their records expunged, and a lot of people did not. But that took us to the next step of the Senate Bill 562. So we got more relief for people to come back and reapply to get their records expunged. Did that make sense?
Yeah. So what? So y'all don't do no hard felonies, but I don't know how you said it.
We don't do assault, assault, murder, sexual sex offense. What the Senate bill did was change the time. Now, because if 10 years, you cannot get anything taken off your record. So we lessened that time. So now it's 3 to 5 years.
Oh, so
Okay.
Okay.
And so now all dismissed charges are automatically taken off your record.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
So now we're having another lobby day, which is going to be May 18th. And we're now lobbying that they do look at some of these domestic violence charges, some of these assault charges, some of these, which they call violent charges, to go in and just look at it and see, can we expunge some of those charges.
So is that hard to expunge a charge like that? Like, why is that a hard thing? I want to.
Because it's the law. So you got to go back in. That's what I'm saying. Now we're going back in to get more amendments to the Senate Bill 562. Hey, let's do some more of that. Now you're saying that people that have violent charges, let's look at it. Because somebody can falsely accuse you, right?
Exactly.
You in a relationship and they got a young daughter and you don't want to be with them no more, they can accuse you of touching their daughter. That's simple.
And not even that, like just being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Wrong time.
And you could get that charge, and that the guy you was with just wasn't a real dude, whatever, you know what I mean? He make you take the charge with him, and that messed your whole little thing up.
Oh
You was
yeah.
trying to be a working guy, and now you turned into now you with him every day. You know what I mean? So, and justice serve is a big thing to me because when you was doing it, I was wondering, like, you know what I mean, what was the outcome of that? And I got it. You feel what I'm saying? Just to show awareness of what's going on. Cause I was like, I know ain't no way you can get all these people with sperms. That's what I was saying in my head. Like, ain't no
Yeah.
way. I
Right.
say there's
Right.
no way.
Right.
But it's
So
the thought that count. You feel what I'm saying? That's
right.
what matters.
So that's what it was, because what moves lawmakers? Numbers.
Oh, okay.
Numbers move lawmakers.
What you mean?
And
Can you explain that a little bit? What you mean by numbers?
just like for
People.
example, like we did the lobby day.
Okay.
If we wouldn't have put those 1,000-something people, 1,500 people on Jones Street, that bill would have never got passed. They put the face to the problem, so they had to move. It's just like going back to the George Floyd. If it's so people think that, well, they knew they were going to blow it up. People were going to come together. There was going to be another. They had to move, right? This was what it was in everybody's mind. People and numbers change things.
They definitely do. I appreciate you on that because that justice serve was the big thing. Because it's like people always talk, but nobody really show no outcome. And by you going out there and being in the community, even your what's the block party you do? It's the block party. Even that block party you do, that's a big thing. So that all that started off of the one thing, all that started off of just trying to keep the community from being an outroar of what's going on in the community.
Right, right. Because at the end of the day, hey, they want to lock us up anyway. They
Exactly.
want to keep that massive incarceration. All they need is just one reason, and that's why I try to educate our people. When I was teaching in the jail, the first thing I would explain to the people in the class, you are sitting in a system, and that system is designed to keep you in that system. It has a way. You catch a charge. They bring you to jail. They put you under a high bond because they know you can't get out. So
Exactly.
you get a public defender. The public defender come. They may come within the 30 days, and they probably bring in a plea deal. And the plea deal is so high, and you're saying, "I'm not taking that." They want you to say that so they can leave you there, sit you there. You keep sitting there, and then that stuff start working on your mental. Then they keep coming, they bring another plea, and you still saying no. Then they bring that third plea. You broken down. It's 2 years you've been locked up.
Exactly.
You haven't gotten in the courtroom. So by the time that plea comes, you're like, okay, I'm ready.
And look, that's what. See, I was up at 4 o'clock this morning thinking about that same thing you just said. Like, it's like, why do we gotta settle for these plea all the time? But you just said it like, I'm sitting in here, I'm thinking about my family, thinking about my girl. I'm just like, oh man, and like just first thing come to mind, you take it. It's like, wow, we got him. It's like, you know what I mean? So it's like people, we scared to fight. We scared to go to court. We scared to fight
Yep.
that case. It's like when you catch me red-handed, it's like you scared. But you just seen this man choke this man to death, and he fought it still. Like he still had a chance to fight. So it's like I don't want to tell nobody to crash and burn, but it's like some people like, oh, I know they're gonna fry me. I know they're gonna give me mad years. So they just take it. So like I don't know why. Is that a good thing or? I
But
mean, I
no,
don't.
because right, we got to understand North Carolina is a plea deal state.
Exactly.
98% of people that are sitting in prison and jail are there on a plea deal.
They can't even come
But we
home.
don't exercise our right, that we have a right to go to trial, right? But and like I would tell the people, if you did it or not.
Not even
You
that.
know,
The lawyer tell you
the Lord,
this
right?
will scare you. The lawyer be like, man, I need you to go ahead and take the plea, man.
Yep.
I don't, but he's scared. How you telling me to take the plea to prison, bro? Like, I don't go to prison. Like, just take the plea. Even probation, and they just make you take it. Like, you know what I mean? So, but they be like, it's gonna get worse. They say it's gonna get worse if you go to court, or it's gonna be more of a charge. It's gonna be the same charge. It's just gonna
Right.
sound bigger.
Right. So that takes me back to when I first started with James E. Austin, Hitman. He was in my class. And the first thing he came up to me, Miss Powell, it sounds good. Everything you saying, it sounds good. But I'm looking at 29 years for attempted murder for something I didn't do. Now I did some stuff, but that right there, where they got me in here sitting now, I didn't do that. So I asked him, I said, why are you taking the plea? He said, because I can't fight it. My lawyer telling me to take the plea, and they've been after me anyway. So I said, okay. So what I did, I went back and talked to his attorney and told his attorney, really look at his case. Will you please just look at it, because what he's saying, it doesn't add up. So I told him to get his motion of discovery, highlight everything that was not right, that was a lie, it wasn't true, and he did that. So he gave the motion of discovery to me. I took it to his lawyer. His lawyer began to investigate it. They came back and they dropped the charge.
Wow. But she won't have people like you. It's not a lot of people, right? And it's scary because it's like people only go off of their homeboys, or always go off of what you heard. Like, nah, go ahead, bro, take the plea, we got you. You know what I mean? But it's like, look at you. You sat here. That man was just like, man, it's over. You know what I mean? But you gave him a chance to fight. But see, that's another thing. Back to what you say, knowledge, and you got to learn some stuff. And reading is the key. You feel what I'm saying? So if you take your time and you ask questions, and like you just said, by him talking to you, he called himself. I think it was a call out to, man, F this, but that call out helped him. You know what I mean? He broke down, but it helped him in the long run. Like you stepped up to the plate to finally say something to somebody that can help you, and it helped. And that's what our problem is. We scared to talk. And they tell you when you're in prison not to talk about your case. That's the first thing they tell you. Don't talk about your case. I'm like, what? Why is that though?
Um, because the way they explain it to me is because they can turn around and use it against you.
So all right,
Did that make sense?
that's the same way he said.
Yeah.
We go move on a little bit. I ain't gonna stick you there. I know I ain't gonna stick you there. So I
let,
see
let
you.
me grab let me grab my charger right quick.
Go ahead, you got it. Give Miss Donna a break right now. I'm gonna give her a break a little second. Everybody still tune in, share this like this. You know what we're doing.
I'm right here.
But Miss so Wake County Justice Center. Do you still do that with
Yep.
the youth?
Yep.
How often right here? Did it start in the January 2015? Or that was like one of the days, or did it start before that?
That was just one of the days. We started in September in 2012.
Okay. And how was that? Like, how was that for the kids, and how was that like? I mean, the experience.
It's very it's effective. It's very important when we introduce the judicial system to our young people. We don't introduce them just to say stay out of this place, right? This is where you not want to be. No, we introduce them that this is a job. There's a careers that you can be a DA, you can be a judge, you can, you
Okay.
don't have to be the one in the jumpsuit and handcuffs coming standing behind this table. You can be the one up there in the road. And for example, I remember we took a young girl, and Judge Rozier allowed her to put his robe on. And when she sat down in his seat, she said, I want to be a judge.
Mm.
That just didn't come out. That came from her, from the inside of her spirit.
Felt that.
She felt that thing.
Mhm.
She felt it. And so what he did, he sponsored her to get all the law books that she needed.
Oh wow.
Him and his wife. So they're still connected. They're still working with this young lady, this young girl, and that was about 6 years ago.
So how often
And
do you do this?
we do it. We try to do it. Well, since COVID, we have not done it, but we try to do it at least twice a year.
I want to get into that with you. So I mean, whenever I could do one,
Absolutely.
because I'm kind of big on that right now. Like I just want to open up. Like that's why I tell people we don't get into these positions, we're not gonna never change. It's not gonna be no
Right.
change. And
And
that's
and
how I look
also
at it.
right. And also I teach and certify the community to be community court advocates. They go through a 3-day training, and they get certified at the end, and as community court advocates. So they can go in and monitor the courtroom. We can assign clients to them, and they're there. They're there as an advocate for their client, their community. They're watching cases, and we need to get in that courtroom. I got a call the other day from one of the judges. They're like, "When are you coming back down here? Because there's some stuff going on in here y'all need to see."
I like how you presented a guy, I don't know his name, but I'm saying I like how you presented because he had the tattoos on his face and you made him put a suit on. I was laughing, like I like that. And what he was
Yes.
talking about, if you listen to what he was talking about, you won't look at what he got on. You won't look at his
Right.
face. You won't see none of that. But I just grabbed him like, oh, I felt it. I'm like, I like her. I like that because I like how you dressed him because it's like that's what we want to see. All right, let me let you hear the people that you call so quote your role model because you know what I mean because he's doing all this. So it's like, all right, he got the tattoos. So by him talking was a big thing to me, and I was like, all right. So I looked more into that, and I was looking at your page and I was seeing people that some people that I know, some people that I don't know. So it was like kind of like, wow, you know what I mean? Like she really out here, you know what I mean? She really and because Tamika always talk about you. She always talk about you. She stand behind you. I mean, it's just
That's right.
it's
Take
like
people
it's like
heads off.
you got for real. You say your name, it's like it is like a danger zone. Like my screen start to blink, and it's like her whole thing just when it come down to you. But so I respected the fact that when she wanted to do the interview, it was kind of like nerve. I'm still new to this. Like I'm not new, but I'm really new to talking to people. So that's why me saying why I bring to the table myself. And you have a school I see. I don't know if it's a school or a church school, but I was seeing you had the kids in the stretch hummer and things like that. I'm like, she's doing it big out here. Like she just need a little help. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like for real, like that's what it be. You just need a little help. Like some people look over what people doing sometimes, and you can kind of like bring more to the table if you just like if you just speak up or reach out to them. And you see them, but you don't want to help. You see them, you just want to like. You see them, you just want to share. Like step into the plate, step in the circle, and see what's going on. And like did it start in 2009? Did that school start in 2009, or that was just the day of the graduation?
Which one are you talking about? You're talking about
It was July. I think it was January 13th, 2009. I seen
okay,
them.
that was our just to serve graduation class. Those were people that were court ordered to us
Wow.
to take our class. They had to do community service. They had to study the judicial system. We graduated 175 people that day. We had the judge come. We had our chief of police. We had our probation and parole officers to come and be a part of that ceremony. That was a big thing. That was a big thing. It was a 12-week program.
So you still do that too?
We still do it. And but now we're not so much doing it with people that are directly court ordered. It's just people in general that come from the community. We have mothers to call and they say, "Look, I see my son going down the wrong road. I see he wants to be a part of this gang. He's bucking up at me. So bring him to us."
And I
And
need
we're running.
that's a good thing you just told me that because I see some kids out here and even like the youth. Like I used to be big with the youth. Even me doing what I was doing, I kept my hands with the youth on the way up, like the people that was around me. If you're doing good, I take care of you. If you're doing bad, I can't do nothing for you. You know, and then if you're disrespectful, it's a wrap. I don't deal with you no more. And that's why a lot of kids around me, like a lot of older kids that ain't 20s now, they respect me because what I did for them. You know what I mean? It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about none of that. I just wanted you to show you that when I was growing up in my neighborhoods, if you was doing good or playing sports, you got it gifted you. You know what I mean? They made sure you ain't stand next to them. Like I'm standing by them, but they telling me to I just gave you some money, keep going. You know what I mean? That's the conversation that I was doing with the youth, you know, but it's different when you get caught up in the game and that's all they see, that's all they know. So it's like that, I'm teaching you nothing. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm teaching you to do the same thing I'm doing. And it was a scary situation for me. So that's why I kind of like I'm so pressed on the youth, and I know the youth is what's going to change the world, and that's my move. Like with you, you know what I mean? Like I want my sit down with you one day, and we could kind of get to another step, and I could try to see. Well, I know some corners and people that need help, and just because they don't have no guidance, they don't have no
That's
way
right.
out, they don't have nobody to talk to and you being the person you are is good. And I'm gonna kind of go to my next question of when I see you telling them they pushing the people out the hood. Like, what you mean by that? Like buying it, you know what I mean? What you mean by when they pushing? Like I seen you out there, and it's like people building, but they not letting us come back in. And they building and shooting the number up high. You know what I mean? So, how you feel about that part?
Well, about 5 years ago, I was trying to get the message out. Change is coming. Gentrification is here. And if I don't care what you were doing, you hustling, whatever, getting your money, put your money and buy some land, buy some property, reinvest back into the community. And for example, Bragg Street. I was up on Bragg Street yesterday, and sure enough, Bragg Street is gone. The store is
Yeah,
gone. They done closed it down. So we might as well look for the 200, 300, $400,000 homes that are getting ready to come there. It's going to happen. Gentrification is real, but this is my thing. We got to stop selling our community short, especially our young people. We got to stop letting having them to think I can't afford to get in those 300, $400,000 homes. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
yeah.
Um, and this is where the 8 to 9 students that I have now, I'm grooming them. I'm putting them in opportunities and spaces where they can get those jobs, so they can be their own boss. They can create their own program and organizations where they can make that money and they can afford those houses.
That
Gentrification is real, but they don't. And the thing is, you don't have to be on the outside watching the change. You can be on the inside being a part of that change. You can be at the table. I got 4 youth now that is a part of the development that's happening on Tarboro Road with Monty James Montague with F7. They are going to be a part of the designing of that building, what it's going to look like in that building, what kind of furniture is going on in that building. They are at the table making those decisions
and
and getting
Powell,
paid.
that's a good thing. What I wanted to present to you was like this podcast world and teaching kids how to do starting a clothing line. Like just starting a podcast and the clothing line. I wanted to present that to you. Like you know what I mean, like that's my thing on live. Just to throw it out there. And I throw ideas and like people like, people gonna steal your ideas. It's not about stealing. Like as long as you helping the youth, just do it.
Right.
You feel me? Like I don't care, but that's what I want to present to the youth. You feel what I'm saying? That part. And what I learned so far, I got people around me that do good things with websites and things like that. So I kind of could bring them in too. And I mean, whatever I can help, you know what I mean? I definitely want to help and I definitely want to get involved because like people always say like once you step up, step up. I'm like, I went at the time I had to get myself together. I was still somewhere else, you know what I mean? And I finally focused on the main goal was just life and my family, you know what I mean? So I see that's the next move. So me moving on and that, I just want to just move on and keep doing positive things. And I think me linking up with you would make it better for me, give me focus. Because, you know, sometimes I can go down the wrong road. Not mean I'm doing that wrong. I'm just in the wrong situation, the wrong conversation. And I'm kind of like tired of that. You know, I'm over that. You know what I mean?
He's a hothead.
High head.
No, definitely not. And I just want to send my blessings to your mom. She had a quick recovery. I think she had surgery or something. I seen you post
Yes.
something. Like I was on. I
Yes.
did my little research. I know you're like, guy, what are you talking about? Like, I mean, this is what this a friend of mine. I'm gonna give it to my Brandon Beckwood. And I mean, I'm introduced to. That's gonna be the guy I'm bringing to the table with me. And he behind me. Like he was the guy that kind of like I was going left at one time. Like I wanted to be that. You know, I'm this dude. I want to talk this. I want to talk that. But he's like, you ain't gonna go nowhere like that. You know what I mean? And when he said that, I was like, man, I don't want to hear what you're saying. So as I start paying attention and seeing where I was driving, you know what I mean? I was driving people everywhere but the right way. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you this, and I'm telling you that. Like I don't want to talk about that. You feel what I'm going? I want to talk about what's going on right now and how can I help you? You know what I mean? That's what my move was in life. You feel me? And and that's just how I am. You know what I mean? I appreciate you coming on the show, and this was like a big thing for us today. You know what I mean? Because I always talk. You know how people talk. You know, you talk the walk, but you don't walk the walk. You know what I mean? I was talking the walk, but I really wasn't walking the walk. You know what I mean? So that's where I was at with that. I know Tamika got some questions. I know Clark got some questions. I ain't want to take advantage of the whole thing. So I mean, y'all got any questions? Y'all can ask some questions. I don't, because I got a million questions. That's why I said we just gonna have to sit down.
Yeah, we had to sit down.
We definitely had to. It's not even questions. It's just like concerns
Build
and
it.
how. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what it is. And I seen. Matter of fact, I seen something. What do you do at the Lighthouse?
The Lighthouse is my second home.
There you go, right
See
there.
that?
That's my
See
second
that?
home.
I was on it.
Yeah, yeah. We do virtual learning for our kids that are not in person school. We do our food distribution on Fridays. It's also open for people to come and do their pre-registration application for expungement and driver's license. Also, now we collaborated with the state. We're doing COVID testing. Just there every day from 10 to 3. Anybody in the community to come and just drop by. Because my thing is, if you're afraid of the vaccine, at least continue to get tested. It's so important. And we've opened that space up for that.
You got any questions for
I don't have any questions.
Flat? You probably working.
Clack.
You
There you go.
got any questions for Ms. Donna Clark?
You muted.
All you do out here in this community, that's you unmuting me?
Say
Yeah, I just want
say
to
it
say
one more
thank you,
time.
Miss Diana. Thank you for all you do out here in this community, for the young and old. You truly are a blessing, sis.
Thank you.
You're gonna be one of the guys I bring to the
in
table
right
too,
now.
because he is chef. So he got his own. They got their own food truck in Atlanta.
Oh wow.
But we have some things that I definitely have some real powerful moves I can make with you, and I got some good guys behind me that just need a way to go with it. You know what I mean? And, like they
Well,
got
we're definitely open.
yeah.
I'm always looking for opportunity for
And,
anybody. You know.
and we really appreciate you. We ain't gonna hold you up too long. I know it's early in the morning, Ms. Donna. We thank you for coming through. And before we leave, we want to definitely send our condolences to your cousin. I mean, I definitely did my research, and I definitely appreciate you. Appreciate you
Dantes.
coming up here, and I know that was a bad thing for Raleigh on your behalf and your family members. And I did a little research on that, and that was kind of like bad, sad. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
just slow. Like for everybody out here in the youth, please be careful when you're driving. Drive safe, and just you know what I mean. That's all I could tell you on that one. But
Yeah.
Ms. Donna, thank you, and we'll see you again up here. We definitely gonna bring you back, and
Okay.
and we definitely gonna bring you back. And I thank everybody for tuning in today. I trust self. Another good week, another great show, and this is what we're gonna do for Ms. Donna. Miss Donna, look, Miss Donna, let me say the crazy part. You was the first one to get all my wife. My wife loved me, and she, it's hard on her. That's why I need to come talk to you, because I make it hard on her. And I'm being real. And when I told her I was having you on the show, she had so many questions and then never left them. But that one question you had already answered for, it was like in the beginning. So I was like, all right, you answered her question. And that's just where I'm at with it. Like, I want to, you know, she just like, what you going to do with this? Like, what are you doing? Like, she get it. I'm a good dad and I'm a good husband, but that other life had me so trapped. Like that was my life. Like, people don't understand. I didn't do nothing else but that. Like, you know how you master something? Like, and it's I'm getting it. It's out now, but it's like, wow. I'm just like, I'm a free man. And like, so it's like I'm boring now. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I'm not boring, but it's just like, I want to be with my family. I ain't trying to go back to prison. And,
that's right.
Nobody gonna be there for my family but me. You know what I mean? So, and I man, Ms. Don, I can talk to you all day on here, man.
I know that's right.
I think just
but
thank
I love
everybody.
it though. I love it.
But I couldn't do this before though, Ms. Donna. Like, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like, I was really like I had so much in. Like, I still got a lot in. And you know, things I can't say, things I can't say. So it's just like I was, you know, I gotta juggle my own life. You know what I mean? I was juggling that and deaths I'm going through with my family, and it's just like so much at one time could pile up on you, and the money was washing it away. Like, man, I just go somewhere, or I go buy myself something, or I go out of town. You know, it would, but it ain't do nothing but hurt me, because when it was time to sit here, all it came down at one time, boom. You know what I mean? And it crashed on me. I sat here and I juggled it out, and I just love my wife for standing there behind me, because she could have left me months ago, because I just lost control. You know what I mean? And I was depressed and all types of stuff. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what people don't understand. Like, when you got a real person standing behind you, the things they go through, just keep it together is real. You know what I mean? And that's why I say one day, we definitely not one day, but soon we're gonna sit down and I'm gonna send you my information. And you know, I think everybody was tuning in. I said this already again, but Ms. Donna, I don't know. It's like I'm trying to get you where I got you.
Can you tell everybody how they could get in contact with you? The contact information, how they could contribute if need to.
Well, you know, we're at Lighthouse, 202 North Tarboro Street, right across from the Tarboro Community Center. We're there normally from 8 to 3 or 8 to 4. Definitely there from 10 to 3. My number is public, 919-594-9076. Always can hit me on Facebook, Diana Haywood Powell. Just love my community. I appreciate you all. Appreciate the comments. This stuff like this is so important. This is how we continue to educate our community. And I want to say thank you all. Thank you, Sheena.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all. We tuning out, everybody. I see y'all next week for another good show. Miss Donna, man, we thank you. We gotta give another one. Yeah, right. We did great.